Sizzled, and he stole the show. It was a big day for the offense. What a fun day. Training camp. Tomorrow's the last day. It's all coming to an end. I'm a little sad. No more training camp. Also, a little sad because I lost my Instagram page. I don't know what happened. It got deactivated, but we got to keep pushing through. We got to keep the heads up, trying to stay positive and grind it out. But here we are live. Let's talk about training camp today, shall we? Let's get it going. Let's get it cracking. And we will answer all your questions like usual. We got live day 11. Again, one more day of training camp tomorrow, and then preseason game one on Friday. I can't believe it. It's here. Preseason game one. Big news before the day started. Kyle Shanahan spoke with the media, and he announced that Trey Lance will play on Friday's game. We don't know how much, but I'm guessing it's going to be about a series, maybe two. But Trey Lance will play against the Packers, and expect to see some of the first team out there. And then game three, probably the game, the season rehearsal, you'll see some more of Trey Lance and the first team offense out there. So you love to see it. You love to hear it. It's good. Trey, getting more reps is going to be good, especially against another team. So let's go into it today. Oh, sorry. A couple things to note during training camp. Emmanuel Mosley was not there. He has a hamstring strain. I saw him running. He missed the last practice too, so it makes a little sense. They said he should be back next week. It shouldn't be too serious, but Emmanuel Mosley does have a hamstring strain, so that's something to keep an eye on. Charvarius Ward was given the day off. I did see Arik Armstead doing a lot of work. He did a lot of work. He was running on the side. He was doing some drills. He was in the back, hitting the D-line drills. Yeah, they had him going, and he didn't have his knee brace on. Of course, it wasn't with the team. He didn't have full pads on, but he was doing his own solo drills off to the side. So it was good to see Arik Armstead doing some work out there. He looks like he's very much, going to be on pace to be there for the start of the season, and he looks very healthy. So his knee sprain is not too serious, I don't think. So how's everybody going? Manny Sanchez says, have you heard from Instagram yet? I have not. Like I said, I lost my page. It got deactivated. I don't know why. I don't know how, but I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. It doesn't, I do appreciate everybody reaching out. I do appreciate the support, but I got to grind. I got to keep up the work. So when am I getting on IG? I don't know, Raul. I don't have my page. It got deactivated. We'll find out. But I know everybody wants to talk about that. I know everybody wants to ask about that, but I want to go push ahead and just get to the content and talk about the team. So, it is what it is. I don't know why. I don't know what happened, but Instagram decided that they needed to deactivate my account. But it's going through the process. You have to go through a whole process and fill out some forms, and they don't really have a number to call. There's no real 1-800 Instagram, so you just have to kind of wait. I used to know someone that worked for them, but I don't anymore. That person no longer works for them anymore. So we will see. Let's get to the training camp because it doesn't matter. But anyways, Trey Lance sizzled today. This was his best practice. Again, no Ward, no Mosley, so you have to use that for context. But regardless, Trey Lance was hitting the passes. I mean, he was hitting them hard. He had Debo. He hit some nice plays to Debo. He hit Ayuk. I mean, just streaking over the middle, wide open. Touchdown to Debo, 10-yarder. He tucked it and ran, did a red zone touchdown, and then the 65-yard touchdown run. Woo! I watched it right in front of me. I was in the VIP section today, so I had the best seat in the house. Trey, RPO, play action read, right? It's like a little play action. Fakes the handoff. Boom. He cuts it to the outside. Debo sold the block. He held his block, and I mean, they took off. And Trey, he just bursted down the field, 65 yards. He was running. I was like, oh, everybody was hyped up. Trey Lance, he has the mobility, and that speed is nice. It is very nice. He has a skill set that is going to make the offense so good. It's going to make this offense so good. And I'm telling you, today we saw that RPO and that run game and Trey running, and he was scrambling today. When they get Trey involved and he could run, it's going to be nice. There was even another play where the rush comes in, right? Trey Lance feels the rush, and then all of a sudden, Trey Lance escapes it. He razzles, he escapes it, and then he runs out the pocket, looking like Russell Wilson out there. He flushes to the right. The defense comes in, and then boom, strikes it to Brandon Ayuk. I was like, wow. Trey got comfortable today. You could tell he was feeling it today. But the rush was coming in. He was escaping pressure. And give credit to the guys like Aaron Banks and Spencer Burford. Those guys really were good today. This O-line looked a lot better. Center, I've been keeping an eye on that. I think Jake Brendel's going to be your center. We'll talk about the depth chart. The depth chart came out today too. But I'll tell you what, man, Brendel looked pretty good today. He's been pretty much your first string center right now. And again, those O-line boys are hanging out, are holding up pretty good. Aaron Banks and Spencer Burford, young bucks are they're getting better. They're getting better. So I know everybody. I'm going back to these questions, and everybody wants to talk about Instagram again. I've addressed it. The page got deactivated. There's nothing I can do. I don't know why. I don't know how. Just got to play the waiting game. Sent the appeals. We just wait. So, Drew says, also shows how much E-Man and Charizard have been causing chaos for Trey. And exactly, this is what we've been talking about over the last couple weeks when Trey Lance, he's struggling, he's having a hard time, blah, 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 blah. He's playing against elite cornerbacks, right? Elite cornerbacks. Travarius Ward and Emmanuel Mosley have been so good, man. So good. So good. Very good. And I tell you what, when they were out today, you had Deommodore Lenoir and Ambry Thomas. Ambry Thomas was getting cooked up like bacon grease today. And then Lenoir, he had some moments, but he wasn't getting sticky coverage like an E-Man or Charvarius. So you could tell he was getting beat. He got beat on a few plays, but they were picking on Ambry today. So definitely makes a big difference when your top two cornerbacks are not in. But I'll tell you what, Trey was confident. He was swaggy. He was moving. And the run was nice to see with Trey. When he was out there grooving, doing his thing, very cool to see. Let's get back to some questions. Ayuk shirt is fire. Appreciate it. Praying for the page. Thanks, media. Roberto says, how is Jason Poe doing? I like Jason Poe. I noticed him the last few days. He's a riser. He's stepping up. He's been playing with the second team O-line at guard. He's been playing guard with the second team. This guy says he's versatile. He can play anywhere on the line. He can play center, guard. He even said he can play tackle to me. He can play fullback. This guy's a very versatile guy, and Kyle Shanahan loves those Swiss Army knife type players because sometimes you get injuries, you need a plug-and-play guy. So I like Jason Poe. He's having a good camp. He had another good day today. His one-on-ones, he's holding his blocks well. He's one of the better guys out there on his one-on-ones. So Jason Poe definitely rising. On the depth chart, they got him on the second unit. So I think Jason Poe might be that undrafted guy that can make this team. But again, the big story of the day, Trey Lance sizzling. I mean, he was just cooking today. Cooking like butter. He was cooking it today. I'm telling you, man. Trey just looked comfortable. And it's good to see because the other day, everybody's talking about how Trey didn't do good. He didn't look good. He looked bad. This was redemption song. It was a comeback. It was a let's go. Okay, I had adversity on the weekend, the last day of camp. Everybody's dogging me. I want to battle back. And he showed he can, come back from adversity. And that's what I really got out of Trey today, is this guy really showed what he can do when the back's against the wall, right? It was, a great day. And the other day, everybody was ripping Trey. They were ripping Trey. Oh, he's terrible. He's terrible. He can't play. And today he was just money. The passes were crisp, looking really good. Just, again, best day of it was his best day. I think he was what? I want to say about 13 for 17. I know he missed like 4 passes today. There was a few of them, but they weren't like bad ones. The worst pass, so he threw 2 bad passes. There was one corner end zone to Juwan Jennings. I wouldn't really say it's a bad pass. It was a great play by Sam Womack. He got the hand up, PBU, corner of the end zone, right side. Juwan Jennings was the designated receiver, and Trey tries to scramble and throw it to him on a sprint right option. But the problem with that play, he threw it behind him. He threw it behind him, and Womack was able to just knock it down. If he would have threw it a little bit more in front, if he would have just got it to a certain angle, I think Jennings would have got it because he kind of throws it, and Womack was able to make the play. So that was a little unfortunate. But Juwan Jennings, he just wasn't able to adjust to it. Then there was another play, throws it to the right sideline. Kerry Hyder in his face. Kerry Hyder got really good pressure. It was one of the best reps I saw out of Hyder all camp. Big pressure on his face, and Fred Warner almost had a pick. He should have picked it. Fred Warner should have picked that ball. It slipped out of his hands. It was a, errant pass. It was a, shit, I got to make this play. And Kerry Hyder's, gushing down his face, and he throws it, and Fred Warner almost interceptions. So, Rhea Jesus, how was Lance? Just got back from school. Yeah, we've been talking about Lance all day, Rhea. Trey Lance was the best player in practice today, and he probably had his best day of practice today, too. He was really good. He cooked it, made some big plays, a big 65-yard touchdown run. That was the highlight of the day. That was a phenomenal play. That was so nice to see. I loved it. Trey Lance, he looked great. He looked good. Fun play, fun day, especially from the last day. He had a few connections with Ayuk. That combination continues to be lethal. There was a third down play. It was like a 22-yard strike, I think, 25-yard strike. Boom, to Ayuk. It was so nice. I'm telling you, man. And then Debo and Trey, like I said earlier, they're building that connection. I really like to see Debo and Trey. Every day they're stacking it. You can tell they're getting better. They're working on things, and they've been making more plays on a daily basis. So Trey Lance and Debo, I think they're going to be fine. Everybody's been worried. Debo doesn't have that chemistry. Debo's a great player. He knows how to build that chemistry with Trey Lance. So let's see. Let's go down to some of my notes now. So Elijah Mitchell, another good day. Running back one. He had a nice little catch on a check down. Elijah Mitchell showed good hands. He showed good speed. He continues to be a star out there. I mean, Elijah Mitchell is going to be your running back one. If he can stay healthy, he's going to have a monster season. Jordan Mason, another big run, another big day. He continues to shine. This guy continues to look like one of the best running backs out there. I mean, it was a 25-yard run, cut up the defender, and he just saw the hole. When he's decisive, Jordan Mason just doesn't let anybody catch him. Jordan Mason is very quick, very elusive. He has, good vision. He just has to be more decisive, because when he is decisive, that boy hits the hole and he goes. Sometimes he dances a little, but, a lot of young running backs, they like to dance and wait. But when he knows where the hole's going to be and he just hits it, it's over. It's game over. Nice. Very nice. Let's go to some of these other guys that stood out. So Jordan Mills, they signed him last, a couple days back. Offensive tackle. I like Jordan Mills. I like him. Very tall, very big, very strong. He's been stonewalling in one-on-ones. He's going to make the roster. I think he's the best tackle on the roster that's the backup, I know you got Trent Williams and Mike McGlinchey, but behind him, who's going to be that swing tackle? J-Mo's hurt, so they brought in Jordan Mills. Jordan Mills is way better than Justin Skule. I think Jordan Mills makes this team. He's a stone cold killer, man. He just pulverizes people. He's big, too. He's a big target. I like what I see out of Jordan Mills so far. In one-on-ones, both days I've seen him, the guy doesn't let anybody by him. He is tough. I want him on this roster. I can't wait to see him in preseason. This was a sneaky pick that they added to this roster. I like this addition. This guy's a stud. He is big time. Javon Kinlaw, man, oh man. Javon Kinlaw looked so good today. He continues to have a great training camp. He beat Aaron Banks on his one-on-one. He made Aaron Banks look like chopped liver. Made him look like the steak he was eating in that video with Grant Cohn. I mean, he beat him on the team drills too. He stuffed TDP on a run. Like, he just pushing everybody and knocking them down. I'm telling you, he has some nice pass rush moves. He has some nice moves on the interior. Little chop. That guy has a beautiful arsenal. Kinlaw's getting better. He looks so strong. He's smooth. Made Aaron Banks look like a rag doll today, basically. Javon Kinlaw was locked in. This was another good day. They continue to give him more time in practice, and every day he looks better. Javon Kinlaw, breakout season. He's coming for blood, man. Another guy that had a good day, Drake Jackson. I mean, he shook Colton McKivitz on a rep on one-on-ones, and he was not losing at all during his one-on-one reps. Drake Jackson, man, he continues to move up the chain. He was starting a third team. Now he's on the second team. He's been mixed on the first team. Drake Jackson, love the guy. Good motor, hard worker. After practice, I mean, he was working hard after. Drake Jackson, man, he's had some solid days the last few days. He's been stacking days. Another guy that had a nice little day was Sam Womack. We talked about it. He had a PBU earlier in the corner on Juwan Jennings. Sam Womack, man, he continues to shine. I feel like he might be the future nickel. I mean, I think right now they got Darkus Denard as your slot corner, but man, the more it goes on, Sam Womack is going to be your nickel corner. Maybe by midseason. I think by midseason, you might see Sam Womack in as your starting nickel corner. This guy's good. He's fast. He's quick. He's got really good. He's got really good field IQ. He knows where the play's going, man. The guy can read it. I like him. He's got leg. He's very rangy. I didn't think he'd have that range. He's a short guy, but he's rangy. Like the guy. Ray McLeod. He's still showing that yak ability. I like Ray. Let's talk about Ray McLeod. He talked about Trey Lance today in his press conference, and he said that Trey Lance reminds him of Josh Allen. George Kittle said Trey Lance reminds him of Josh Allen a couple months ago, right, on the I Am Athlete podcast. So a lot of comparisons to Josh Allen, and that's good to hear because, Josh Allen, his first season, everybody wrote him off. Oh, he's a bust. He's not looking good. And as he got better and as he got more comfortable, Josh Allen took off, and he became, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So much respect to Ray talking about how, Trey Lance reminds him of Josh Allen. And a lot of people have this comparison. Some people are afraid to say it, but a lot of people have had this comparison. And again, Ray McLeod, he's been really working hard in camp. I like that he's been used in many ways. Jet sweeps, reverses, slant plays, everything. He does all these little gadget plays, and he's going to help Debo take some pressure off of him. And he even said, he was excited to come here. He knows Kyle Shanahan has a vision for him. And Ray's going to be a fun player on this offense. I think a lot of fans are going to like Ray McLeod. He's had a good camp. Last couple notes on here. Willie Snead, the newcomer, he got a touchdown in the red zone, corner, end zone, left side from Nate Sudfeld. Beautiful pass, beautiful catch. Willie Snead, big play. A lot of people expect him to make the roster. Don't bet on it because this other guy, Malik Turner, has been absolutely incredible in camp, and he's younger and he can play special teams. I like Snead. He's a veteran, but maybe he gives them that veteran leadership and he teaches them up a little bit this camp and kind of gives them that, hey, I'm a veteran. These are the things you should learn. Maybe they get rid of him and they keep him around. If there's an injury during the season or they need to sign somebody real quick, they'll call up Willie Snead, right? They've done that in the past with Jordan Matthews and Dante Johnson. They kind of keep them. They don't make the roster, and then if there's an emergency, boom, they call him up. I think Willie Snead is going to be that guy, but he did have a touchdown corner end zone from Nate Sudfeld. It was good for him. Nice little touchdown for the newcomer. And Jeff Wilson Jr. was cooking today. Big day. One of my favorite plays of the day. So Wilson gets stopped at the line, and you'd think the play's over. He does a spin move on the defender, and, man, he takes it, and I was like, ooh, he gets like a nice big 15-yard gain. It would have been a 0-yard gain, but a little spin move. Jeff Wilson Jr. looks so good. He's been cooking. He's probably one of your best running backs in this camp this year. I think he makes the team. I keep saying I think he's going to make the team. People think I'm crazy, but I think Jeff Wilson Jr., they like him. He looks healthy, and he looks good. Last year was a bad season because of injuries, but I think Kyle's going to give him that second chance. So those are kind of my notes there. Let's go to see some questions. Let's see. Rhea says today was his first day of school. Well, I hope school was good. Who stood out besides Lance? Yeah, so we talked about Kinlaw, Brandon Ayuk, Elijah Mitchell. They look good. We had Sam Womack, Drake Jackson, Debo Samuel. They looked really good. And again, Jordan Mills. Those are some guys that really stood out to me today. Really good to see that. Let's see. Reyes. Let's see. Roberto says, hit that like button. For sure, hit that like button. MLEG says, hey, Raj, what happened to your Instagram? It got deactivated for whatever reason. Who knows? I don't know. They didn't tell me. We're trying to get it back. 49ers Media says, Womack's the next Shark. Definitely. I think that was the plan. They let the Shark go to Denver, and I think that was why they were okay, because they found this guy, Womack, who they were cool with, and I think he could be the next, K'Wan Williams. It's nice to see. I like this guy so far. Big Fish says, you getting your IG back? I will. I hope so. We're trying. We're trying. I don't know. We'll see. Big Boy, I don't know. My page got deactivated. Drew C, how is Leon O'Neal? You know what? He got hurt today. He messaged my boy Lucky after the game because we were going to meet up with him, and he says he's getting an MRI done today. A lot of people probably don't know this. I don't know if it was reported today, but Leon O'Neal was hurt. He wasn't really around in camp much today. So we'll see what happens. He's had he hasn't really had a standout camp. That's a guy that I keep saying that needs to have a good preseason. Doesn't get a lot of chances. I think he'll make the practice squad. I think Leon O'Neal will make the practice squad and he'll work his way up. But unfortunately, he did get an injury. He didn't say what, but he did get an injury, and he texted us that he's going to get an MRI. It was, my boy Lucky got the text. After the game, after practice, we hit him up, and he goes, yo, where you at? Well, let's meet up. You okay? We didn't see you out there. And he says, I'm getting an MRI, man. And then we wished him, we're like, hopefully everything's okay. So, yeah, Leon O'Neal, he did have a MRI. I don't know what the injury is. It's undisclosed. So, Steve-O says, hey, Raj, it's your boy. Just got in the live. How was the squad looking today? Any big plays or standouts? Yeah, so we talked about this. Trey Lance was really good. The big play of the day was a Trey Lance 65-yard touchdown. It was a QB keeper. It was a little play action on the option. Fakes the handoff, kept it, bolts to the left side, cuts upfield. Debo with the block, and Trey Lance takes it. He just beat the whole he gassed the whole defense, just buzzed right by him. That was a beautiful play. Beautiful play. I mean, there were some nice plays, though, today. There was like I said, the big Malik Turner play. I mean, a bomb to the right side from Purdy. And Malik cuts it. He just has this little move, shifts, and he runs it in. Yeah, I mean, that was a beautiful play. And another big play to Brandon Ayuk from Trey Lance. I mean, it was a great play. So many big plays today. The offense was gelling. The offense looked really good. This was the best day for the offense by far. A really good day for the offense. And, again, Trey Lance was just sizzling today. So that was pretty much training camp. It was nice, day for the offense. They needed it because the defense has been cooking up. And, they needed a day like this. So, let's see some more questions. MLex says, was Lance's 65-yard actually faster than what we saw on TV? He said they ran. Yeah, I didn't realize that he could get that fast. He top speed. He's fast. Like, we knew he was fast. I didn't know he was that fast. Hopefully they put the highlight today. I think they will. 49ers.com should have the highlight today. You know how they always put their little training camp highlight packages. This one needs to be out there. Has to be. How has Aziz and Greenlaw looked? The whole linebacking crew is looking dope. Shout out to Aziz. He signed my other hat. The hat with the signatures. Shout out to Big Aziz. I told him Pro Bowl season. He says, you know it, baby. I said, contract here. He goes, he looked at me. He goes, you know the vibes. So, Aziz has looked good. Greenlaw's looked good. They've been pretty careful with those two guys because they did come into camp with some injuries. So, they're being a little careful. But, they looked pretty good from what I've seen so far. Let's get to... I want to get to these... I want to get to the depth chart because this is important news today. So, we did get our first unofficial depth chart. Unbelievable. Unofficially official... You know how it goes. Unofficial depth chart today was released by the 49ers. This was good. So, obviously, there's no surprises with Brandon Ayuk and Debo as your starting wide receivers. And then behind them, you got Ray and Juwan. Then after that, you got Danny Gray, Malik Turner, and everybody else. Austin Mack also is there. If I'm going through these receivers and I'm looking at it, and then Willie Snead. If I'm picking up my roster, let's go through this. Let's do a little exercise here today. Let's go break down the roster, right? And maybe I'll do another episode where we do this again as training camp goes. I'll probably do it this weekend. But for sake of today, before the first preseason game, you got Brandon Ayuk, you got Debo Samuel, you got Ray McLeod, Juwan Jennings, Danny Gray. Those guys are locks to make the team. I think your sixth receiver is going to be Malik Turner. I know a lot of people think it's going to be Willie Snead because he's the veteran. But I said this earlier. I think Malik Turner will make the roster. This guy has special teams ability. He's younger. He's rangy. He's tall. He's got speed. This guy looks so good out there. I like Malik. He's made a lot of big plays. He's the guy that made the one-handed catch a couple days ago. I like Malik Turner. I think he's making the roster. I think Malik Turner makes this roster. Did not practice squad. He makes this roster. It's a sneaky guy to make this team. And then your O-line, you got Trent Williams. Let's talk about the first team O-line specifically. Okay. Trent Williams, your left tackle, obviously. Aaron Banks is your left guard. He's looked really good. And then they have Jake Brendel. He's center. And I think that stays. I think Jake Brendel is your center. I think he's supplanted himself. He's done enough to me, I think, to stay at center. Dan Brunskill has too many snap issues. I don't think he's going to make it as your starting center. Right guard, Spencer Burford. You love to see the rookie starting at right guard right now. This guy has not had one play where he was not the first team right guard. He's taken every snap at right guard. Spencer Burford, rookie. This guy is good. This guy, I'm so happy. I'm so impressed. This makes me so proud of him, because that's my guy. And then Mike McGlinchey is your right tackle. So that is your starting O-line. I don't think that changes. I think that's what we're going to see as the season. Behind them, left tackle, you have Colton McKivitz. You have left guard. I told you, Jason Poe is your second left guard. He's looked good in camp. I think he makes this team. I think those are the two guys that make this team. Dan Brunskill, your backup center. Right guard, Keaton Sutherland. Nothing crazy, but he's hasn't been horrible. And then right tackle, Jalen Moore, but he's hurt. So behind Jalen Moore, you have Justin Skule. And then you have Jordan Mills behind Justin Skule. I think Jordan Mills, just because he's kind of a newcomer, don't sleep on Jordan Mills. I think he might make this roster. I think if push comes to shove, he might make it. I don't think Justin Skule makes this roster. And then who else do we have? Nick Zakel is behind Keaton Sutherland at right guard. And then you have Donovan West is your third center. I don't know if he makes this roster. So right now, if I had to tell you, I think Trent Williams, Aaron Banks, Jake Brendel, Spencer Burford, Mike McGlinchey, Colton McKivitz, Jason Poe, Dan Brunskill, and Jalen Moore if he's healthy. If he's not healthy, it's going to be Jordan Mills. And maybe one of those other guys. If not, they're going to make the practice squad. Like Donovan West, Nick Zakel, they'll probably make the practice squad. Maybe Keaton Sutherland as well. Keaton Sutherland might make the roster. He is your kind of backup guard to Spencer Burford, but he could probably make the practice squad. But we'll see. Again, I'm going to do a whole episode with the roster breakdown, but it is nice to see Spencer Burford getting the starting spot at right guard right now. So let's go to running back. They have Elijah Mitchell, running back 1. A little bit of a surprise to some, but again, I told you he's looking good. Jeff Wilson is listed as running back 2. He's been having a really good camp. Number 3 is Trey Sermon. Number 4, Ty Davis-Price. And then under Trey Sermon, they have Jermichael Hasty. And then under Ty Davis-Price is Jordan Mason. So Jordan Mason right now is the odd man looking in because he's kind of the last guy on the depth chart. But again, a solid preseason can jump kick Jordan Mason onto this roster. Looking good. I don't think Jermichael Hasty makes this roster. Maybe practice squad, who knows? But Jeff Wilson's your running back 2 right now. I think he's going to get a lot of action during the preseason. He looks good, and it's impressive. It's very impressive. He's had a good camp. So let's get to some of these questions. Swaggy2K, does Jimmy get traded or released? I think the more it looks like he's going to get released. I just don't see another team really wanting Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't. It's a big contract, injury concerns. I know he's out there throwing. I know he's doing his thing. But he's damaged good. He's got a lot of injuries. And I just do not think that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to make this final ride. They're going to cut. It's crazy. Jimmy Garoppolo's quarterback 4. Sorry, I looked at this depth chart. Do you know how crazy it is to see Jimmy Garoppolo quarterback 4? Obviously, he's hurt. But do you know how crazy it is when I saw this depth chart and you see QB4, Jimmy Garoppolo? That's fucking crazy. Obviously, he's not quarterback 4. He's hurt, so you got to put him on the roster. And that's what Kyle said. He goes, I mean, Jimmy's hurt. You got to throw him on the roster. You got to throw him on the roster. So let's talk about the starting defense that the team has listed. So left defensive end, Samson Ebikam. Left defensive tackle, Javon Kinlaw. Arik Armstead is right defensive tackle. Again, Javon Kinlaw, or sorry, not Javon Kinlaw. Arik Armstead was out there running. He was out there doing defensive drills on his own. Armstead looks good. He should be ready for the season. Right defensive end, Nick Bosa. He's going to have a monster season. Then you got Aziz Al-Shahir, the Sam linebacker. Mike linebacker, Fred Warner. The Will linebacker, Dre Greenlaw. So nothing surprising there. Emmanuel Mosley is your left cornerback. He did have a hamstring strain. He should be ready by the season. They said he should be ready next week. Charvarius Ward, right cornerback. He's been locked in. Your nickel cornerback right now is Darqueze Dennard, but the backup is Sam Womack. That is what is really intriguing. Sam Womack is already listed as the number 2 nickel cornerback. Keep an eye on Sam Womack. I'm telling you guys, this guy is looking mighty good out there. Free safety, you got Jimmy Ward, and then your other safety out there, Talanoa Hufanga. So right now, you have Jimmy Ward and Talanoa Hufanga starting at safety position. Behind Talanoa Hufanga is Tarvarius Moore. He's had a really good camp. I think he's going to be in the mix. I think they might rotate him in and out. I've talked about that. Might see some 3 safety sets here and there. Behind Jimmy Ward, you got George Odom. He's a special team legend. He's going to be a big guy on special teams. He's out there, might be the gunner. So he's your backup to Jimmy Ward. If Jimmy Ward gets hurt, you got George Odom. And then behind George Odom, you have Leon O'Neal. And then behind Tarvarius Moore, you have Taylor Hawkins. Those are your backup safeties to the backups, your third-string safeties. I'm hoping Leon O'Neal makes this team. He has to have a good preseason. He has to go out there and earn his keep. And again, as far as Leon O'Neal goes, he is dealing with an injury that's undisclosed, he told us. So I don't know. I can't speculate on what it is, but I know he is nursing in some type of injury. So hopefully it's nothing too major. Hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. Behind that, your defense is Drake Jackson at left defensive end. This is your second unit. Kevin Givens, left defensive tackle. He's been great. Right defensive tackle, Hassan Ridgeway, but he has been dealing with the hamstring injury. Right defensive end, Charles Omenihu. Sam linebacker, Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles. Mike, Curtis Robinson. The Will, Oren Burks. He's going to be a special teamer. The backup the backup left cornerback, Dante Johnson. The backup right cornerback, Ambry Thomas. That might change because behind Dante Johnson, you have Diamador Lenore, but I think Lenore might shoot up to this front of the line. Diamador Lenore has had a solid camp compared to Ambry Thomas. He should pass Ambry. I think he might. So, and then the backup to Sam Womack in the nickel is Quantrez Knight, the young undrafted guy. I think he'll make the practice squad. And the last listed cornerback is Tariq Castro-Fields, the guy they drafted this year from Penn State. He's behind Diamador Lenore. Hopefully he has a good training camp or preseason to kind of make that roster, but he might make it to the practice squad. So a lot of guys. Kadar Holman also is on this list behind Ambry Thomas. A lot of guys, that could make it. They could make it to practice squad. Another guy, Marcelino McCrary Ball, Segun Olubi. Those 2 guys are linebackers. They've played pretty good in training camp. I think they make it to the practice squad. So you got McCrary Ball, Segun Olubi. I think they'll make it to the practice squad. And then Jeremiah Gremmel. He hasn't been bad. He's had some moments, but I ultimately don't think he makes this roster. Again, we'll have a roster show, and I'll tell you who I think is going to make the practice squad, who's not going to make this roster. But early on, favorites to make the practice squad, I definitely think that Marcelino McCrary Ball and Segun Olubi will make that practice squad. They've been pretty good. So then, of course, special teams, you got Mitch Wishnowsky, Robbie Gold. Mitch Wishnowsky is out there, and then Tabor Pepper, your long snapper. Ray McLeod, he's your punt returner, kick returner. And behind them, Brandon Ayuk is your backup punt returner. Your backup kick returner is Danny Gray. So I've seen Danny Gray field punts and kicks in practice. I've seen Brandon Ayuk. So if anything happens to Ray, we got 2 guys that can come in and do it. But Ray McLeod is going to be your return man, and that is great. That is such good news. So very good news to hear. Very good news to see. We have a return man that I'm excited for. Ray McLeod is slippery. He's going to be a fun player in this offense, but he's also going to be a great return man. So let's get to some questions. JR3 says Mosley and his hamstrings every year. I know. Remember I said it the other day. I said the only thing about Mosley is he has hamstring issues, and that limits him every single year. I hope he gets past this injury and he does not have any problems, because we cannot afford to lose Emmanuel Mosley. Him and Ward are supposed to be a lockdown duo. We need a duo, because Ambry Thomas is out there getting cooked like barbecue out there. So I don't want to start the season with an injury to our cornerbacks. We need a healthy Emmanuel Mosley. Let's see. Drew says, heard Mason has been looking pretty good. He's been looking phenomenal. I like him. He should make this roster. Sneaky guy. If he has a good preseason, he's going to leave a big question on who do you cut to keep Jordan Mason. Because if you cut Jordan Mason and he has the preseason that I think he's going to have, and you cut him, somebody's going to claim him. Somebody's going to get him. The Seahawks will take him. The Seahawks will take him. The Seahawks will take him. They want, see, Riley Burrow says, what happened to your Insta? Kai says, what happens to your Instagram account? The account got deactivated. I don't know why. I don't know how. It just did. Instagram decided to deactivate it. There's a process. You know, you go through it, you wait, and I'm just playing the waiting game. I don't know why. I don't know how. I filed whatever I had to file. We're going to see what happens. I'm not going to make a new account yet, because I had such a huge account, and it's going to be hard to recreate that. So I'm going to wait and hope that I get it back. If worst case scenario happens, I will make a new one. But not right now. I'm trying to get my account back. So we'll see. We shall see. But, yeah, that's the depth chart. That is training camp for today. I'll leave it open for a few more questions as we finish off the day. It looks like Sean McVay, we got some news here. You got a contract extension. I hope the Niners smash. I hope to smash the Rams. I want to crush the Rams. Boy, got extended, huh? Contract extension. What a bum. Hope we crush him. Jimmy G to the Rams if Matthew Stafford injury is serious. I mean, you never know. I don't think the Niners would want to trade Jimmy Garoppolo to the Rams. They'd have to cut him and they'd have to sign him. If the Niners were to willingly trade Jimmy Garoppolo into the division, that'd be bad, because Jimmy knows all their plays. He knows how. You think Sean McVay would not take advantage of that? We don't want Jimmy Garoppolo to the Rams, because if the Rams beat us with Jimmy Garoppolo, it would not be a good day. It would not be a good day. Not be a good day. Oh, my God. Sliggity Bone says, how has Kinlaw looked so far during camp? I'm telling you, Kinlaw is looking like one of the better players out there. He looks fast. He looks athletic. He looks focused. He looks like he's just in a great shape and in a great mindset. Him and Armstead should do damage on this line. I think Armstead and Kinlaw are going to be a nasty duo on the interior. You know, we had DJ Jones last year, who was really good, and we missed DJ Jones. But I think Javon Kinlaw can be as good as DJ Jones was. If he could stay healthy, this man looks like a man possessed. Grant Cohn really flipped the switch on this guy. Grant Cohn really put this man in a position to go out there and hunt these quarterbacks. He's coming out playing for blood. So, Kai says, what are your thoughts on Trey Lance today? We talked about Trey Lance at the top. This was his best day of practice. He looked amazing. He was hitting players in stride. He had beautiful passes, smart, decision-making. He sizzled. That's what we said. Today he was sizzling. He had some really big runs, scrambled really good. He was running out of the pocket nice. He used that running ability to open up the passing game. Again, there was a play where the rush comes, he evades the rusher, and he runs to the right side. Defense crashes on him, and he still makes the pass. He threw on the run. This was a phenomenal day of Trey Lance. You saw the skill set. You saw everything he could do, and it was like, oh, wow, this is what Trey Lance can do to the offense. And we saw it today. We did, and it was so good. The 65-yard touchdown run, I'm telling you, was a thing of beauty. Thing of beauty. Trey Lance looked great today, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing? We have 35 viewers. Hit the like button. 15 likes. Yeah, my man says that's what we like to hear. Kinlaw should dominate when healthy. I'm telling you, he should, and he has been. He's looking great. Jeffrey says, what happened to your Instagram? Like I said earlier, it got deactivated, and we're working on getting it back. I don't know why it did. So, Kai says, Lance has an extremely high ceiling. His ceiling is super incredibly high. If he hits even an 80% of it, we're going to be happy. This man's ceiling is through the roof. So we're all rooting for Trey. We all want Trey to be good, right? If Trey does good, everybody's happy. The Niners look great. The team's happy. Why should we want him to fail? Like, there's fans out there on the Niners side of things that don't like Trey. They don't want him to succeed. It's just weird. To me, it's just weird. But I think Trey is going to be a star. Big Fish says, is E-Man okay? So he does have a hamstring strain, and he looked good out there okay today. He didn't play. He was didn't practice, but he was doing a lot of running. When you have a hamstring strain and you're able to run, it to me tells me that it's not too serious. Dave Lombardi reported that they expect him back next week, so it doesn't seem like it's a serious thing, but it's definitely a thing, right? Emmanuel Mosley has a hamstring strain. We don't know how severe it's going to be, but we expect him to be back next week, is what Kyle Shanahan said. So, Raul says, just hope he fixes his throwing mechanics. You know, he doesn't need to fix it. That's how he throws. If you force him to throw differently, if you force him to be someone he's not, then that's going to mess him up. If this is how he throws, this is how he does it, this is how he does it. You can't recreate someone. You can't make them be someone they're not. This is how he learned through his career, through his life. So this is the way he's going to throw. Like, maybe they can fine-tune some things here, but if you change it too much, it's going to mess him up. He's been throwing like this his whole life, you know? So, free Raj. Yeah, let's free Raj till, well, hopefully it happens. Kai says, Lance is already an upgrade over Jimmy if he develops into elite quarterback when we might be getting some rings soon. It's definitely seeming like it because the defense carried when Jimmy was quarterback. You know, no disrespect to him, but he didn't have, like, elite passing skills. He had a great quick release. He knew how to execute the system. Great game manager. He knew how to take the system and execute it very good. I wouldn't say flawless. He did make mistakes, but he knew how to execute the system. Very good leader, poised guy, you know, man's man. Players loved him. Like, he knew how to command that offense. Charismatic, but he doesn't have the elite ball skills that Trey Lance has. Pause. You know, he doesn't have those elite skills that Trey Lance has. Throw the ball deep, the running ability. Is a beast. He's a different monster than Jimmy Guwa. So, let's see. Sliggity Bones says, is Spencer Burford a lock for the right guard position? I don't know if we want to say lock because he is a rookie. And you know how Kyle Shanahan is with those rookies. You know how he is. Kyle don't like to give these rookies a lot of chance. But the fact that Spencer Burford has started every single rep in training camp at right guard is beautiful. It's music to my ears. I think Spencer Burford will be the starting right guard, as he should. He's been coming into camp, stacking days, working hard, doing what he can. He's stonewalling in one-on-ones. His one-on-one drills have been absolutely amazing. I think Spencer Burford should be your starting right guard, and I think he will win it, but I wouldn't say he's a lock because you never know with Kyle Shanahan, because Dan Brunskill is still pretty, good at right guard, and he's still pretty serviceable, and they're paying him a pretty penny. They might put Dan Brunskill on that line out of the fact that he's getting paid the most. But if Burford shows that he can lock it down and play good, and he's better than Brunskill possibly, then you let him develop. You let him take those reins and shoot it to the moon. Because I think Spencer Burford could be a Pro Bowl guard. I'm telling you, man, this guy looks so good. Let's see, is the Packers game Friday? Yes, it is. Am I going to the game? I don't know. It would be great to meet you and watch us crush Seattle. I want to try to go to some games. I don't know yet. I'm still working on things. I mean, I lost my account, so right now I'm focused on getting that. I don't know if I'm going to... I don't know what games. I usually decide, like, the week of, so I could always get tickets pretty easily to the game, so we'll see. Yeah, let's go. 2 more questions, and then we'll bounce out of here. I appreciate the support. I really do appreciate everybody out there reaching out to me today. It was kind of... It sucked not having my Instagram account, but I know I do have a lot of great followers, a lot of great people that support me, and looking out for me. So even on Twitter, you guys found me. You guys found me here on YouTube. Spread the word. Spread the word. Let them know we still not down. Even though we lost the IG account, we're not down and out. Jimmy, the fourth quarterback on the team right now, he is, because he's still rehabbing, so they had to put him on there somewhere. He's QB4, so yeah, I don't think he's gonna dress up. He's gonna be in street clothes. Jimmy Garoppolo is QB4. I don't think he's dressing up during these preseason games. Appreciate you, Manny. I will try to keep my head up. It's been tough, you got to stay positive, but you lose an account that hard, or that big, that you work so hard for. It kind of sucks. So appreciate you, Sliggity. I try to do my best, give you guys the news. So I respect y'all so much. Let's see. Any other questions? Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Let's get to your final questions of the day. It was a really good training camp. Really, really, really great day. Tomorrow is the final day of open practice. It's been a great experience. I'm sad that it's coming to an end. Andy said, Jimmy G's just a handsome Kirk Cousins. Sliggity says, how's Aaron Banks look? Yeah, we talked about Aaron earlier. Aaron looks like he's had a great training camp. He looks a lot slimmed down. He came into camp in really good shape, and he's been moving well. He's had some really big moments, and he's held that left guard spot down pretty good. There were some really good blocks today. I noticed he was giving Trey a lot of time out there. Him and Trent Williams, they moved really good on that left side. I think it was so smart of the Niners to say, okay, we have Laken Tomlinson gone, and it's tough. And it's not smart that they lost him, obviously. But the thing that I'm saying is smart is, okay, if you get rid of Laken, the guy that you have to have needs to be, able to be, taken under Trent Williams' wing. And they put Aaron Banks, the young guy, a lot of pressure on his shoulders. Second year in the league, the second round pick. Everybody, kind of criticized it. He's right by Trent Williams, and Trent Williams is the perfect guy for him to be right next to. Trent Williams is a goddamn dog. He could block 2 guys if he needs to. He could block Aaron Banks' guy. Aaron Banks looking good. Trent Williams stonewalls his guy, puts his arm over here. He's helping Aaron Banks, holding 2 blocks, while Aaron Banks is holding up as he learns. Trent Williams is a great guy to be right next to. So it's smart that the Niners made sure to put him at that left guard spot next to Trent Williams. Left side, the best side. And with that, we'll call it a day on YouTube. I would say I was going to go live on Instagram today, but I can't. So hopefully they fix it. I really do. Hopefully they do. Prayers up. I'm working on trying to get my account back. So I don't want to just start a new account, because that gets a little tricky. That gets a little weird if you make a new account and then the old account comes back. So I have to make sure my old account for sure isn't able to get back. And so I'm waiting it out. I'm hoping that we get the account back. I know you guys will support me no matter what. So I appreciate you. One more day of training camp, and I will be there to get as much news and content for you. I love you. Have a great day. Have a good night. Thank you, faithful. I love you.